Hello all, welcome to part two. Okay, just a little explanation before we get any further. If you look up behind me, I am debating on colors and I haven't had the money to finish the painting thing. And yes, I know I am the queen of procrastination. But anyway, that's what the colors are in case you're wondering what that is behind my head because it does kind of look a little funny. But anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Okay, on Saturday night, we all met at the Red Cross, and by we all, there were most of the people that were here on Thursday night, a big handful of people that had already were in the city but didn't come over that night. So there's a big group of us there, and you know we're loud, but we were having the best time. We got there a little early. They had, excuse me, they had a little bit of hors d'oeuvres that were being passed around. They had an open bar. And they had a big auction table set out. Unfortunately, there were not as many actors that mingled beforehand, which I was a little miffed, I guess, for lack of a better word. There were a few. Now, I will give props where props are due. Kurt McKinney, completely amazing. He saw everyone, talked to everyone, did his whole deal. He was great. And there were a couple of others, but really in the past, it has always been that most every star kind of mingles, and I'm not really sure why. I don't know if maybe they didn't have enough rehearsal time, if it was a new bunch of actors. I know there were a lot more One Life to Live actors this year than we've ever had before, which was completely awesome since, well, they're the only soap left in New York City, so I'm hoping that, in future years, they will be there present and singing, and they were awesome. The young kids got in there. They sang their hearts out. They all had great voices. It wasn't a single time that I had to go, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for them. They're horrible. They really were good. So we had a great time. Um, in the first half, there were a number of acts that got up there and sang, and we were rocking like back in the 80s. And, being a teenager in the 80s, I was having the best time. And then they had a little 5-minute break, and somebody came and got me and said that Wendy wanted to say hello, and she was in the back of the VIP section. And of course, I'm not going to be in the back of the VIP section, but I went back there to say hello to Wendy. So I walk up there and I say hey to Wendy, and guess who comes in right behind? Kimmy. And for those of you that don't know, that's Kim Zimmer. So I was extremely excited to actually get to say hello to her. So I hollered over to her. She came right up to me, of course, and gave me a big hug, was so glad to see me, and I was so glad to see her. And we chatted for a little bit, had just awesome time. So I was asking her, I'm like, what are you singing? What are you singing? And she said, well, right behind you is the set list. So you tell me what I'm singing. Look at those and tell me which one's mine. Of course, I picked the her two right off. And she actually sang I Can't Make You Love Me by Simply Red, which is one of my all-time favorite ballads from the 80s. And then one of my other favorites, Simply the Best by Tina Turner. And of course, I don't know if any of you know Kim as far as being a performer, but she's phenomenal. She rocked the house. She was towards the end of the second act, completely rocked the house. People were dancing. People that had been sitting the whole time got up and were dancing with us, and we just had the best time. Just had an awesome time. There were tons of us there, and a group of us went and got a picture with Kim, and Kim's like, no, I want all my people there. So she rounded up the entire group, which we all know each other, but there were just like a handful of us at one time, and some had dispersed, and then Kim actually got everybody together for one huge big photo. It was awesome. We had a great time. And we hung out, talking to her for a little bit, but then I had to get Niecy home because, it was time to get her into bed. She gets up really early, like real early. And okay, I admit it, I was tired too. So we hopped in a cab and we came home. And then on Sunday, and yes, both of us had to be up to be at the bowling alley at 10 o'clock because that's when we were able to get inside and start decorating and making sure everything was in order for the bowling event that was coming up, which is what I told you about, Jerry's Elves. So we got there at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's at Port Authority at the bowling alley that is on the second floor, in case any of you want to know, towards the 200 gates. If you go towards Auntie M's on the second floor, Auntie Anne's. That's what it is. Auntie Anne's. The bowling alley is right there. Really, 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 really nice. When we first started there, it was really dingy, dirty. It was not up to date at all. It was a rough, rough bowling alley. But they've remodeled the entire thing, and this place is fabulously beautiful. We were so in awe of how great it was. And everyone at the bowling alley was so nice, and they were so helpful. And so we get our little VIP section set up, which is where the actors were going to be. And people start coming in about 1 o'clock. Registration went so smooth. Everybody had their little stations where they were supposed to be. We were getting everybody in the door. We were getting them their bags. We were going to start the live auction soon, which this year we did first. Normally we do it at the very end, but I'd kind of noticed that, it wasn't, a lot of people had left, either they had planes, trains, buses, whatever to catch. And I asked Wendy, I said, let's just try it this year and just see if it works better to do it first. Worked perfectly. And being able to have the actors there to model some of the things that they purchased or actually brought for people to purchase, which Kim Zimmer was one of those, and she brought a jacket and she brought a dress. So she was actually able to kind of come out and hold them up, and anytime the people see her with it, they're going to bid more. I mean, it's just law of the land. So she actually came out and she modeled a little bit, and Jerry Verdorn came out and he offered up a tour of the One Life to Live studios, and Hillary B. Smith, who plays Nora on One Life to Live, she was going to also do the tour with him. Well, we had this bidding war going on between these two ladies at finally $2,100. You heard me right, $2,100. Finally, the lady goes, you know what? Can we both have it if we both pay that? We ended up letting them do that. And so we got two sold for $2,100 each. It was amazing. The whole day, we just had the best time. Everybody was bowling. They were talking to the actors. They were just spending tons of time with them. This is what's great about the bowling event, is there's not really a big guard between the actors and the fan. So if you want to meet somebody, you have no trouble being able to meet them. You just go up and meet them. They are all so nice and accommodating. They will take pictures. They do autographs. And the bowling event is really, really the way to end the entire weekend. And it was wonderful. And we ended up raising over $18,000 in one day. 4 hours. You hear me? 4 hours. $18,000. It was awesome. We were so proud of ourselves. And after it was over, we all kind of crashed, but we went to juniors and crashed together. So like we do every year, after we kind of go to juniors and we hang out and we have dinner. And then when everybody else left, some of my girls that were still in town came over to juniors, and we kind of just hung out a little bit, and some of them ate, and we had some dessert, and then we parted ways. And Nisi was the one that was left in town, so she came back with me and flew out Monday morning. And then Monday morning, I headed to work. And Monday night when I got home from work, yep, I crashed. I mean, like, totally crashed. And my mother will kill me. I mean, she will die 7 deaths to know that I'm doing this. But if you look over here at my bed, yes, my bed, it's sad. But that's where I crashed. I mean, I came home at 6:15, dead to the world, sound asleep. Woke up at 8, went back to sleep at 2. It was all good. But anyway, so I have about a minute left, I think, on the time allotted for this video. So I will just say we had an amazing weekend, spending time with my friends, completely priceless. You people are amazing, wonderful people, and I appreciate you coming and spending the weekend with me. And I say, hey, let's do it again next year. And if you have not ever done this, plan to come to New York and do it. It's so worth it. It's so much fun. And I will include, real quick, there's an auction still going on for some items that we did not have a chance to sell at the bowling event. I'll put all that link down in the bottom of my description so that you can go on there and purchase. But until next time, smooches, love you, mean it. Bye.